edition of Editor's Wrap. I'm Rochelle de Kock. This is the show where we unpack some of the biggest stories in Nelson Mandela Bay. Now, who can forget a police officer fast asleep on duty, snoring away as a resident comes into the Algoa Park police station seeking assistance? This week we carried a story about frustrated community members of Algoa Park who feel let down by the police station that is meant to be serving them. Our reporter that was covering that story this week is senior reporter Lynn Spence, who managed to speak to some of the community members, and she'll be talking to us about that. Lynn, good afternoon and welcome to Editor's Wrap.
Good afternoon, Rochelle.
Okay, tell me a little bit, Lynn, about that story. What happened? How did you hear about it?
Well, the story certainly did make waves, as you could see from the comments and all the interest that people have shown in it. Basically, people of Algoa Park and surrounds, they have been frustrated, like they say, with the police for a long time. They've said that it's been in excess of 2 years. So what happened was they had numerous meetings, they would complain to the police station, among others about cases that aren't registered or investigated properly, a lack of police vehicles or manpower to tend to crime scenes. Often calls to the police station would go unanswered, the list goes on. So the petition that they set up was really born out of those frustrations and the fact that they felt that not enough or nothing was done about it.
So what happened this week then? Tell me a little bit about this video. How did the person who took the video, who is the person that took the video, and how did he come about this situation, finding this police officer fast asleep at the front desk?
Yeah. So Mario Zeli, he's the chairperson of the Algoa Park Neighborhood Watch. As is their mandate, they would constantly do patrols to help the police to try and keep the area safe. He apprehended a suspect that had allegedly broken into one of the houses in Algoa Park. They apprehended the guy and he phoned the police station to ask them to assist the neighborhood watch to come and take the suspect or arrest him or whatnot. He phoned and like he said, numerous calls to the police station that day went unanswered. He then went to the police station himself to go and request assistance. He says when he got there it was completely dark. He was not really surprised because he says that's just the way it goes. And when he got inside he saw the police officer in the charge office fast asleep, like he says, and him being absolutely gobsmacked, decided to take a video as proof, and that's the video that we've all now seen.
And that video certainly went viral this week. So tell me, what did the police say about it? What is the excuse? What happened?
Well, the provincial police department, they have confirmed that an internal hearing was conducted. However, they did not divulge any further details pertaining to the hearing, aside from saying that an internal hearing is deemed to be a private matter. Now, this is what has residents even more hot under the collar, so to speak, because they're saying by not knowing whether action had been taken against the police officer or whether any sanctions had been put in place, just reeks of the police not being transparent. And we all know that transparency, especially when a police officer is alleged to have committed an offense or misconduct, fosters a sense of trust between the community and the police. They are saying that for all they know, she could have just been given a slap on the wrist, or she could have been found not guilty. It's that uncertainty. And they're so angry, in fact, that a mass march is planned, is being planned.
Okay. Look, and that's certainly what it boils down to, is the fact that, communities need to be able to trust police officers and believe that, that they're going to ensure their safety, because, we cannot operate as a society without a sense of safety and without a sense of that we can trust in the police officers that they will have our backs. Certainly there are many police officers out there that, you know, do a really good job and actually do conduct their work. But there are the few, you know, bad apples or rotten apples, as we call it, that will make things look a little bit bad for the entire force. So what should people do in cases like this, Lynn, when, you know, you find police officers asleep on the job, or if you find that they are not, you know, taking up a case, or if they're certainly just ignoring, you know, repeated cries for assistance? What should they do in that case?
Look, I agree. Police officers should be responsible civil custodians. Look, if anybody is aggrieved, the first port of call would be to go to the police station in question and report it to whoever, you know, didn't assist you senior. Because ultimately, if a police officer is not doing his job, the authority then rests with his station commander, who's the custodian of that particular police station. If they still didn't get any joy, you know, they're certainly welcome to then lodge a formal complaint, which will be escalated to either a provincial or a national level. And, you know, people are encouraged to complain. I think often people think that, you know, nothing will be done or whatnot, and that is why we've seen when people are aggrieved or, you know, nothing's been done to, you know, to assist them, they turn to the press or they go to the courts for relief. As we've seen, there's many civil litigations that's been, you know, opened against the cops.
Yeah. And we'll certainly be watching this story, and not necessarily, you know, to ensure you know, that this officer is dealt with, but more the broader issue. I think the fact that there needs to be visible policing, there needs to be policing in the Algoa Park area, and there needs to be a sense of assurance, I think, that the community is safe and that the police will be assisting them. We will certainly be following up on that story. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's edition of Editor's Wrap. I'm Rochelle.